All right, what's up everybody? Landon with LMR.com. I got another really good video for you today. We're kind of calling this a mini Resto. Probably haven't seen this car before, and I think the only video where we've showcased this car is the full tour video we did back in November of 2023. We kind of just briefly talked about this car. This is a 1979 Cobra, one of the first foxbody Mustangs, and as a matter of fact, it has a build date of December of 1978. And I'll be the first to tell you, of course, at the time of this video, I'm 34 years old. I'm not well versed in the early fox bodies. So as I kind of progress through this thing, you know, I'll get to learn a few things as I go. But the objective and the goal for this car, we don't want to do too much. I know I always say that, but once we kind of start to unravel these things, we're kind of like, oh, let's do this and let's do that. But I'm going to stay on track here, I promise. We're only going to address the things that we know is going to make the car better. And obviously, first thing, yes, we're going to wash it. You can see Jude, our social guy, wrote, "Wash me in the hood scoop." Gosh dang it. So we'll probably have to polish that out because he scratched the dang thing. But that's the least of our concern, clearly. But we're definitely going to start with the front bumper. This stuff is all, I mean, it's just chafing all the heck. Definitely a respray. Look at this. Wow. Crunchy. But definitely a respray at some point in the car's life, because you can kind of see some overspray in certain areas, like down in here on the firewall to hood seal. There's a little bit of overspray. So, but outside of that, once we get the car cleaned up, run the polisher over it, the paint's gonna clean up really nice. We'll probably leave, you know, the original hood ornament or hood decal. We'll respray the cowl panel. Wiper arms look pretty good. Some of this trim looks decent. Typical fox body, we'll have to do run channels. There's just, yeah, y'all know if y'all been around fox bodies, this stuff just gets so crunchy and crusty. And I've installed several in my day, so we'll get those in and keep on rocking. But I don't think I'm gonna address the trim any. You know, on some of the other cars we show, you know, we'll mask all this off, we'll spray the door frames, but I think we're gonna leave all that alone. You know, we've got a good old trim screw here in this outer door belt molding. Probably this lifted up and somebody said, hey, I know how to fix this, zip. You know, whatever screw was laying around in on their tool bin or their little bolt bin, that's what they put in there. But gonna address the moldings. It needs the pinstripe as well. Look at that, stepping on this run channel stuff. Needs the pinstripe as well, so we're gonna fix all that in this video. Kind of clean up and polish the black down here. Believe it or not, those are still the original, or what we think was original to the car, the TRX wheels. They had a metric size, kind of goofy, but the tires became very hard to get as time went on. So we are gonna replace those with a set of 50 Resto 16-inch TRX wheels, and that is really going to help this car and wake it up. But back over to some of the body stuff. We're gonna get the decals back on it. This car here, being white, I don't know the exact shade of white, I'll have to look that up. But it had the big old snake on it. I call it the Egyptian snake, just because that's kind of what rolls off the tongue. And I don't know, I just think it looks like a Egyptian snake. So take that for what it's worth. Video guy over here, Chris, making a ton of noise. Yeah, we're recording. God dang. Chris knows how to drive a 5-speed now.
Oh, I killed it.
I probably sound like a butthole, but just kidding. Yeah, the Egyptian snake. But along with the snake, it's kind of had, I think it had some green kind of pinstripey things here on the fenders, our front fender and maybe the rear quarter. And I know it had Cobra here kind of in the front section of the upper door. So we'll get those on as well. We'll kind of show y'all how we do that. And believe it or not, I think the decals that we're using, we've actually had for a while. We kind of forgot we had them, I think. I don't know, but they're old. So you're gonna get to see us work with some old decals. And if you find yourself doing the same, we'll try to kind of walk you through some of that and give you some tips and tricks on what to do with old decals. But you will see some rust spots on this car. It wasn't on this side, but on the driver's side over there, we've got a little bit of kind of some rust and some chipping paint. Not gonna mess with any of that, we're just gonna let it ride. But the state of this car, we very rarely drive it. We really just wanna clean it up. We wanna be able to use it for pictures, and we just wanna have a nice, you know, early fox body. We have the 79 pace car, which is a really, really nice car. So we want something that, you know, once we do get it in a driver quality standpoint, you know, we do want to take this down the road because, man, how cool would that be? You know, going down the street and you got this early foxbody Mustang with a big old snake on the hood.
And here come the Globo Gym purple.
You know, like it says Cobra on the door. Like, wow, what the heck even is that? So, but the interior, it's pretty well sorted, I would say, for an old car. We won't have to do much in here. Yes, there's some areas that could benefit from a respray, but I don't think we're gonna do any of that. I think we're just gonna focus on cleaning the interior in a very safe manner and kind of, you know, rejuvenate it, give it some brightness, maybe help it smell a little bit better. I mean, we're only gonna be able to make it smell so good just because, you know, it's old car, you know, it's just old materials, just kind of has that old smell. I'll spend about an hour or two, maybe 3, give or take, it all depends, of just rejuvenating the interior. Again, kind of helping some of that smell. And I think we even may throw in one of these 8-track tapes. I think there's some Doobie Brothers or something in here. This is neat. This is way before my time and probably before some of your time who's watching this, but this is, who is this? Is this the Doobie Brothers? Yeah, this is the Doobie Brothers. Listen to the music. China Grove. Oh, that's the song from, or at least from what I remember, the Remember the Titans. Bachman Turner Overdrive. Oh, Billy Joel. Billy Joel the Stranger. Only the good die young. Golly. All right, we're gonna load up one of these things. Time Warner is gonna be in our comment section saying, take this down for copyright. Wow. You just gotta let it play. That's pretty cool. It's even got the static to go along with the oldness. But interior, it's pretty good condition, I'd say. You know, like I say, just quick cleanup. Dash pad's still in relatively good shape. Steering wheel looks nice. Got our sweet commemorative Cobra keychain, my bobber here. Black interior, kind of tough to see some of this stuff. I mean, it has its marks and scars, but you know what old car doesn't? That has some miles on it and got some fluff here in the glove box. Old registration, new insurance cards, a bunch of, oh god dang, blinking 8-track tapes. Got some cool little seats here. They had a name for these, low back buckets or something. But I think the Cobra shared some of the stuff with the Ghia cars. We had that 79 4-cylinder Ghia on the channel for a little bit. These cars kind of shared a similar door panel profile. Got the little Cobra medallion there on the door card. Some of the early Foxbody stuff, you know, there was a lot of specifics. You know, like your lock and unlock here, the knob in that position right there, window crank, and then the handle's actually down here. It's kind of neat, you know, your hand's already kind of in a lower position anyway. I guess that the designers felt like that was right for the time. And then they changed that. When did they change that? 1983? I think the 82 GT had them down low and then they changed it in 83. I could be wrong. Got the old map light. I wonder if this thing works. I doubt it. It don't work. And you're kind of scared to touch some of this stuff because you don't know if it's going to break or not. Back seat looks good. I mean, most of the back seats in these Foxbody cars always kind of held their shape because there was no room for anybody back here. Panels are kind of chalky, difficult to see on camera, but like you can kind of see in this area here. Get the seatbelt out of the way, but you can kind of see right there at the edge of the interior rear quarter panel some chalkiness, and that's just because of age. So we'll work our way around here to the hatch. Oh, somebody drew something else in here. Pile of doo-doo.
Is that a turd?
I guess somebody's implying that this car is a piece of crap. Well, they're wrong. Oh, it's definitely had hatch struts at some point. Oh, look. There's the moldings right here. We've already kind of held these up in place. They've shrunk and they're too short. They're about about 3/4 to an inch too short, so they just look goofy. So we'll probably just file those in the bin, but it's all in place. The shock access covers are there. Speaker grills are here. Oh boy, somebody was wanting to party. Oh my goodness. What the heck is this?
It's a
disc player.
Yeah. This display
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
just shuffles.
yeah, it's
Back
exactly
in the
what
day,
it
you put your
is.
CDs in there.
I was about to say a cassette, but then that was too big for a cassette. They got it all wired up. I wonder if this thing works. The rear bumper's in good shape. It'll clean up and polish up. Up close, you know, it's got its flaws, but it'll be a 5-footer for sure. But there's some more of that overspray here on the tail light assembly. But I like the no wing going on here. I know that's a personal thing, but I've always kind of liked the wingless hatches. There's that rust I was talking about here on the driver's side quarter, right underneath the sail panel. Yeah, the paint code would be on the door. I don't know what this white's called. This is a cheat sheet for tires and stuff. All of your paint code and interior code stuff, axle codes, it'll be on the door tag over here, which we're fortunate that this is still in the car. We're on borrowed time with this handle. I think I may have locked it. I did. There we go. Here's our door information. Yeah, there's the date, 12/78, I was right there. Yeah, interior trim is NW. So whatever that is, we have to decode it. Exterior 9D. I think body 61R. I think that's just indicating hatchback, or 3-door model, whatever they refer to it as. That's a short VIN number. But I mean, that's what was there for the 70s. Up close shot of this TRX wheel and this TRX tire, but it had a unique tread pattern. It was a 190, 65, 390 millimeters. And that was unique to this wheel. Pretty interesting.
So these are original TRX wheels?
These are original TRX wheels. Even if they're not the original wheels to this car, it's correct for what the car would have had, yeah. And I think it's only right. I guess we got to show the engine bay. It wouldn't be a video without an engine bay shot. But this is a 5.0 car, early 5.0. A lot of the early foxbody stuff was neat. Few specifics on these early cars, like the brake line went through the firewall right there. Kind of neat. You know, kind of the big distribution block for the AC stuff. A lot of unique pieces on these early Fox bodies. I can't remember what the power rating was out of this 5-liter, but this was when the gas crunch was going on, and it was, I think it was like 165 horsepower or something, 150 horsepower. And we have done some work on the car. It's kind of difficult to see, but if you peek down in there, got a fresh water pump, hoses, stuff like that.
Ooh, who put the intake back on? Look at that.
Uh-oh. Look at that. See, always stuff to do. There you go.
Dude, what the hell is this thing? Is this for your turkey? Find out if it's done. What is it?
Oh, they blocked something off. That's a, God dang, I just drew a blank.
It says vacuum MTR?
It's a check valve. It's a vacuum check valve for something. I'm not well versed in carburetor foxes.
Oh no, not that.
Early car stuff.
What's this little?
That's your solenoid.
Oh.
Fender mounted solenoid.
It's so tiny.
Yep. Yeah, 87 Aerono stuff. EFI cars. It was over here.
What is this booger? The amplifier?
That is your ignition box.
This is an ignition box?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because over here was the alternator voltage regulator. I know that just because of the, kind of see it tucked down in there.
There you go.
I know that from our 3G alternator conversion stuff we've done. Yeah, look at that goofy AC compressor.
Dude, it sits sideways.
Yeah.
It's so gnarly.
Yeah, we got the wrong battery in here, but this is what we had laying around, so that's what we stuck in it, just to get some power. Yeah, you have to get the old heads after this one. They'll tell you all about it, all the specifics of what some of this stuff is doing and its purpose. But hey, you know, it's like anything. You don't know it till you work on it and you learn it and do it. So, pretty well sorted under here though. You know, it's got some surface rust and some rough patches, but decent shape for 78. All right, well there's the engine bay. I probably said some things that are wrong, but hey, you know what? I don't know everything, especially carbureted stuff. Why do you call yourself a car guy if you don't know carburetor?
Oh, that's just that one dude. But hey, man, one day another realm to delve into, you know.
So I'm going to get a little ahead of ourselves. I want to check these graphics, all the decals. Our label says October 5th of 2020. We are in 2025, dealing with some old graphics. As they sit in this package, you know, they'll start to develop wrinkles. So when you roll them out and you go to install them, you know, they may not lay down flush. The transfer paper is difficult to separate, but that's just a few of the things that just quickly come to mind. You may get a little bit of color fasting as they sit, but I don't know, this looks, oh yeah.
It's garbage?
Big wrinkle right there, but I think, oh, this is just the, yeah, there it is. Look at that. Oh, it's hissing at you. Oh, shoot, it's upside down. Go Egyptian snake. God, what a time to be alive. I went to the dealership and that's it. I gotta have the one with the big old snake on the hood. So, snake for the hood. I guess these are the isolated stripes for somewhere on the car. I gotta fact check where some of this stuff goes. Again, I'm not very well versed in the early stuff, especially the 79 Cobras. I do know where those go. Those go on that front section just of the door, just above the molding. But I think we're gonna be okay. Just by judging at this decal, I think if I can get it flat and let it lay out over the next day or so while we work on the car, this will obviously be one of the last things we do. So there'll be time for it to kind of lay out and hopefully get situated for us. So, all right, so this is kind of makeshift, but hey, sometimes you just got to use what you have. But we have some sandbags here, flat surface, one of our workbenches. We've got the decal laid out nice and flat. Yes, it hangs off a little bit over the edge, but that's not really gonna matter. But one of the things I also forgot to mention of where a decal could fail is you just kind of lose some of the adhesiveness. And whenever you go to install it onto the panel, it may seem like it wants to stick, but it doesn't. Then again, I've had dealt with some old decal material, and it ends up working kind of as it should. Kind of as we're looking at it and studying this, we should be smooth sailing with this. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna get this bumper out of the way. I pulled one on an early car, so I'm about to see what's different. Crazy that most of it's kind of intact. You don't really see that often. I just took a guess on size. Guess it helps us go in the right direction. I'm gonna go get my tetanus booster.
Where's the safety guard?
Overrated.
Who needs to see?
It's overrated. Not having PPE makes you more careful. How about that theory? Alrighty, bumper's loose, and we can come right off with it. I think I had 7 minutes, but who's counting? It's not a record by any means, but here we are. All right, I'm just gonna set this face down, nose down, because it's gotta get resprayed anyway. We're not gonna hurt it any more than the way it already is. But this header panel assembly does have some weight to it with the glass lights. But what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to go around and pull all the brackets off the bumper. Still held on with the push-on retainers, which is kind of crazy to see, really. But this header panel is held onto the bumper with rivets. So we're gonna have to go around and drill out these rivets that attach the header panel to the bumper, and then we can separate it. Oh, look here, we gotta be careful. We've got a cracked area on the header panel. The cart's not the best method to do this. I need an actual like a body shop cart. Maybe if I hang the nose of it off. Oh, there we go, that'll work. Maybe. Let's drill some rivets.
Now what happens? Come apart?
Should. And I don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah, we gotta get these push-on retainers off. So they're right here, but like I said, because of kind of what we've got to work with, this is probably the easier method to remove these. I mean, there's no real easy method. because they get sandwiched between the bumper and the fender. So they'll get on there, get stuck on there pretty good. So what you may have to do, you may have to use the kind of the back of the bumper as leverage and then start to work it off. I've always hated these things.
What can't get right?
Yeah, my needle nose aren't needling. Okay, so there's the bracket. There'll be a bracket on this side. Okay. And then now we should be free and clear unless something else is just hiding out. Looks like this Phillips head screw goes through on these side markers. Oh, look here, I forgot. These headlight adjuster things go through the, oh my gosh. Yeah, look, oh, this headlight bucket set up. There's the adjuster springs. So bumper's off. We're working on the header panel now. Why would they do that?
Make you happy in your heart.
Golly. Man, it's been a while since I've pulled
Mr. Bucket.
Mr. Bucket.
Balls pop out of his mouth. Buckets. Buckets are fun. All right, so bucket's out.
There we go.
Get it?
Yeah, I kind of got it. Oh, man.
Get it?
I got this corner, yeah, so we'll just work it. Got it. God,
Get it?
dog it, boy. Well, you don't know how heavy those darn headlights are.
Hold it up, over there, over your head. Give me some rest.
This is my prize. I know my luck, I'm gonna break it. Oh yeah, I gotta be careful. And we'll go back through and we'll finish knocking all these rivets out. We'll clean that up. More likely we'll put headlights in it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So now we'll just need to take our side markers, make sure they're out of the way. Yeah, these were replaced. These are non-Ford parts, TYC brand. So that is ready for paint.
What happened?
These things get in there like just right. Well, they've got these stupid tabs on them.
Not as easy as it always seems.
Oh, you know what I gotta do?
What?
I gotta pull the brackets off. I remember.
Full bracket set up?
I remember spraying those back there black. What do you think that is? 5/8?
Sure.
See what you got.
I don't know what's
Counting on you.
I don't know that size. All I know is 10 and 12 and the metric system. 9/16. Don't you even say that was me. You're the one that threw numbers out.
Dang, that's a serious bolt.
Jesus. The whole bracket just to get the turn signal out.
Yeah, what was hitting us, or what was interfering were these little notches. We should do a turn signal delete.
Right. You don't need that. 5 minutes of my life gone. Wasted.
All right, so we've already tackled the passenger side, kind of the trial and error side, if you will. It's kind of cool that we have a driver and a passenger side because we get to figure one side out and then we get to kind of cheat a little bit and show all you what worked and makes us look like we know something. A couple ways to do this. For us, we're not reusing these moldings, so we're kind of going at it in a barbaric manner. We're warming it up with a heat gun carefully, and I'm just peeling it up and pulling it off. If you find yourself wanting to reuse your original moldings, they're in good condition, I would get some fishing line and kind of go at a sawing motion and go all the way through that double-sided tape. For this car here, there are no studs that go through the fender and are retained with PAL nuts. This is all double-sided tape. Removing them necessarily isn't the time-consuming part. What is the time-consuming part is the eraser wheel. You gotta be real careful with that. Kind of turn your drill on a slow enough speed to where it doesn't heat the panel up, but it's still removing all of that adhesive, because if you turn it too fast and you hold it on there for too long, you do risk burning through the paint. We kind of did that over there on the fender, just a little bit.
Oh,
but,
I did it. I did it real good.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah. Nick, our video guy, he was real excited to get in there. But this goes to show you too, the paint could have been compromised in this area already. You know, we were still going at this in a relatively methodical manner. There's always that stuff to consider. You know, some of these areas, you know, are more fragile than others. But Not the end of the world, you know, the molding to cover most of this, but I think it's just gonna add a little bit more character to the car.
You ain't got to lie.
Here we go, good old heat gun. We're gonna warm this up and we'll get the moldings off. Door moldings are already removed from the car, kind of luckily enough, because look how big these things are. And you can see where somebody was going at it, you know, with a scraper or something like that. I wouldn't do that. You know, don't get up in here and just beat the car all to death. God, dog, looks like somebody took a screwdriver or something. Look at the channel here between the body. Look where the little deformation in the metal is.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun to mess with those.
I'm just gonna hammer it out. No, I'm kidding. So this will take a little bit of time to heat up, just due to the size and thickness of the molding. But you just don't want to sit here and hold it for too long, you know, because you don't want to damage anything you don't necessarily have to. I think about 60 to 120 seconds. So 1 to 2 minutes. I don't know why I didn't say it that way, but about 1 to 2 minutes, give or take. All right, here we go. Boing. On to the next.
I'll come back with the
Wire wheel. Rubber wire wheel. We'll say that. All right, racer wheel on. Again, just go at this in a methodical manner. You know, work a little bit, stop, you know, check your temperature. You don't want to put too much pressure. You don't want to turn it too fast.
Right. Don't do things.
I don't know. I do like this one. I feel like
It seems like it's
I feel like the teeth, for lack of a better word, I feel like it grabs the tape better. Sounds cooler. Yeah, I think I like this one better than the smooth one. You are gonna make a mess, so heads up. Looks like a bad sunburn. Yeah. What kind of cheese is that? You need to wear proper PPE when you do this.
Dude,
Look at
I look like a moldy chia pet.
that. Mesothelioma. Yeah.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, I found out real quick. On the other side, went too hard. I ripped the first layer of paint on the other side. Hey, Landon, you're the one with the. I grated cheese myself enough. It's like once you get in the mix of it, then it comes off pretty easy. But you like gotta get started in there. Christ, I'm just throwing. Am I good now?
We're hooking up a battery that's technically not for this car. The things we do to get these cars around the building. There you go. Yeah, that's not ideal at all.
That looks good. We have pride. We have power.
Badass mother who don't take no crap of nobody.
Okay, I'm gonna see if this a bust off real quick. And then I'm gonna pull that cowl panel off because I'm gonna be painting it. They're not in the car. They're up here. She may not have no gas in her. She's dry. Yeah, it's fuel gauge is on E. Yep. Well, worth a shot. We're used to this though. We're used to this. If car pushing was a sport, you're looking at the gold medal winners right here. Needs new battery cables. All right, no, that's not on the list yet. We gotta stick to our original plan.
Hey, if you're gonna have gum, you can't be snacking.
I know, sorry.
I don't care if some people like it. A lot of people don't. I don't know. Leave a comment in the bottom.
Do you like, yeah,
Content?
mouth noises? No, Nick, you're in a pile.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm the cameraman. Not to look at the piles on the floor, man.
It took me 35 seconds to sweep up.
I'm gonna track it all.
Well, you're sweeping it again. Ah, it's broke. We'll just get a new one.
No, you must preserve.
How many Phillips head screws are on this dang thing? Do I gotta pull these?
Dude, they should be right there. That's like one of the first things I've ever done.
I know that, but it's like stuck.
They probably painted it in there.
The paint's acting as glue.
Yep.
You know, these are all warped up too. I think there may be some underneath this hood. Hey, this is the first time I've...
I don't say it's fine. We're learning.
Yeah, there they are.
Did you find them?
Yeah, they're tucked in behind that firewall, the hood sill. I don't know these early cars.
See what we learned today.
I may have to.
Put it on the list.
I may have to remove this firewall, the hood seal to get. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any. Yeah, see how that hood makes contact. All right, so we'll lift this up gently.
What's wrong? Is there a screw on there too?
Somebody put a hose clamp on it.
They put a hose clamp on it?
Freaking hose clamp, man.
Good for you.
I'm just gonna pull the whole nozzle. Yeah, look, see it? Yeah, this thing is rough.
Let's get this guy outside, I guess.
Too bad you don't run. All right, everybody, wash time. This is always my favorite part of it. It's just, I've always liked washing cars, the detailing aspect of it. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna be careful. I've got the 40-degree nozzle here. I'm gonna keep it away from the car as much as I can, just especially around some of the sensitive areas and stuff like that. But I'm just gonna clean it the best I can. But I know especially around the front and rear window trim, we'll get a lot of run out of dirt and probably some sticks and leaves and things because they just like to collect. I'm not gonna remove any of that stuff. We're just gonna go. Do a rinse, then I'll come back and probably clean it with like a alkaline-based cleaner to really cut into some of the heavy dirt and grime. And I think when it was parked underneath one of our lifts, we have some fluid on the car, oil of something. Back here on the hatch area, dripped on the glass. Some of it's on the roof. So, of course, we'll be careful around our rust spots. That way we don't blast that too heavy, but we're just gonna go to town. Oh, that feels good.
Are you happy now?
Uh-oh, our carport's gonna rust. All right, so here's a look at the driver's door frame. Tell it's got a new moisture barrier on it. It was kind of cool. I think these were original to the car when I pulled them off, but the factory moisture barrier appeared to be like some butcher paper. And I actually have a pile of it right here along with the run channel weather strip. But the run channel is kind of tough to make note of how crusty it is unless you just start picking it away or you see a big old pile on the floor like this. So I've got run channel, it's all broke up. Nick's helping us break it all up. And then here was that goofy looking butcher paper. I tried to save this, but it had already been off before with some duct tape of some kind, and there was just no going back. So what I did, I just took 8793 moisture barrier and made it fit a 79 door. None of the provisions match, obviously, since it's not for that year car. Whoa, slow down there, guy. Number 5. So I just used some butyl ribbon sealer that's designed really for taillight lenses, but it works great for these moisture barriers. And like I said, I just modified this moisture barrier to work for this particular car. I haven't done the passenger side just yet, but it's like anything, it's do the same for the other side. And the reason why you see all this out and away from the car is because that's what you have to do to service the run channels. So you can get down in there in the door frame and get all that stuff out. Plus one of the channels runs right here. You can kind of see it behind that moisture barrier. You got to get access to that to seat your run channel. Okay, so real quick, I know I said it wasn't gonna rabbit hole too much, but sometimes you just have to. If you can spare the time while you're there, and obviously the money, definitely do it. And that's what I'm doing here. And then really all I got left, other than the door panels, is just kind of blow the interior out a little bit and then wipe all the plastics down and get a little bit of crud off of them. But you know, for the most part, we'll get a little bit of life back into this interior, but it's old. The car sat outside and it definitely showing its age. After that, with the interior sorted, we can turn our attention to the exterior stuff. Probably start doing some light correction on the paint and prep and paint our door moldings. All right, everybody, so kind of where we're at with White Snake. Reached a point to where we can get our attention back over here to the body moldings. But as far as the interior goes, I spent probably 2 hours on it. Took it out to the warehouse, that way we wouldn't just completely destroy our studio, dirty it up. But blew the interior out really well with compressed air, came back and did a really thorough vacuum. But after that, I got a cleaner specific to interiors. I didn't want to hit this too heavy just because of its age, and kind of just spot mopped it is the terminology I like to use. Could it be better? Sure, but we did add a little bit of brightness to the interior. I didn't really chase nooks and crannies and things like that. We can always come back at a later date and really dial that interior in and get it sorted. But for what we have right now, it has been an improvement, and that's what we're chasing with this car. Again, turning our attentions back to the moldings. This is the 10-piece kit because we need moldings on every spot of the car. And these are currently made by Daniel Carpenter. He has the instructions clearly typed out on each molding as to what to do, and we're gonna follow that exactly to the T. Now, you'll see 2 other steps down here. This is only for if you're painting these body color. Since we're doing trim black, all we need to do is thoroughly scuff these, apply the adhesion promoter, and follow the instructions on the can for the adhesion promoter, as well as what Daniel Carpenter recommends for the moldings. Again, if you're painting these body color, you're gonna have to follow the next 2 steps to ensure a nice, smooth, uniform finish with your top coat. But trim black's a little bit more forgiving than top coats. It's very easy to work with, but this is what we're using to spray these moldings, both available at lmr.com because that's exactly the way these were from the factory on this 79 Cobra. After that, it'll be time to put these on, and then it's been a while since I've done it, but we'll be able to lay some pinstripe.
Look at this. That's how many Chris has left. Lennon's done like 24 pieces. Okay, it's 3 pieces, but still. But look how many he's done. He's still on the 1.
Yeah, good enough for government work.
Please tell me it's still bad.
Oh my god.
Get Landon one of those stamps that says it's inspected by him.
Denied.
Yeah, that'll pass. I mean, you still got some hot spots down here.
Ooh, get to work. Get to work.
Barely passed.
You're never going to the championships.
Yep.
It's probably time to rotate Scotch Brite while we're molding with brake clean,
Why are we doing that with brake clean?
because that's the only solvent I have in front of me. So instead of sitting here fighting with a whole bunch of, what do you call that?
Asbestos.
No. Mold release agent. God dang, I can't get
Mold
that out.
release.
So what I'm doing is I'm chemically stripping the mold release. That way when I go to mechanically press, scuff it with the pad, I'm not sitting here pushing a bunch of mold release agent.
So what's the secret ingredient again?
Secret ingredient is a solvent-based.
That's the secret ingredient. You got the secret ingredient to all your needs. Brake clean.
But you have to pay attention. You can't just go grab any solvent because depending on this type of material, you'll melt it. Like crappy brake cleans.
Melt it. So what you're saying is, if you don't know and you're not sure, don't be doing hood rat things.
Don't be, Or SEM makes a dedicated, they call it SEM Solve, and it is a solvent-based prep solution. And it's great. SEM makes a lot of really good products, but
Brought to you by Sim.
here we can show a quick difference between the two. If you get it in the right light, you can see how nice and flat this one is. This one still has some sheen
Yeah, I see
and
that.
some grippy texture to it.
So wait, this one right here.
This one has not been wiped with brake
That one
clean. This
has. I could, no, you could tell.
So this one here is real grabby still, and you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
See how smooth that one is? Because
Dang, look at you. Do you want to double it? You want to cover the whole damn thing or down the middle?
Down the middle.
Okay.
How much overhead do you have?
I got like enough to wrap it down here
Okay.
and tape it.
No, yes, I'm so familiar.
Like, look at Christopher and his Instagram ways.
I mean, I can do it. No.
You know, one.
Hey everybody, we're here at LMR. We got Landon back here prepping all the molding and everything. There you go. We got Nick taping up the table and everything. Yeah, that's good.
Maybe we should have split it down the middle.
I asked you. Do you want to double it? You want to cover the whole damn thing or?
I was recording.
We're gonna have ourselves a crawfish boy, you son. Good job. We're doing it. We're doing it together. No, we're not painting them here. You just said get them outside. I'm getting them outside.
Just wait till we put the polish on it, Leroy. It's gonna be a diamond in the rough.
That's a reference to Aladdin. Seriously, where do you want me to put it?
I want to go up there by the door. So that way we got a ton of light. Grab us everything.
Here, I got it.
I ain't doing it.
Father.
Golly, you sure you don't want me to take it, dude? Okay. Yeah, it's gross.
Going on.
Trim black, now shake.
Edit that.
I got the blood for it.
Ping pong game gonna make the video cut?
Hell yeah.
Where's the baby? Spray this a little heavy. All right, everybody, so real quick, I just finished spraying the moldings. They actually turned out really, really good, given the high humidity we had this past Friday. So these were able to actually sit all weekend, kind of give it some really, really good time to cure. But the problem we ran into was some of the adhesion promoter. But the adhesion promoter was spitting and sputtering, and it kind of gave us some very faint leopard spots. That's what I'm calling it. You can call it whatever you want. But we have a little bit of inconsistency in some of the moldings, so I'm gonna fix that today. And I'm gonna show you kind of my method of what I do on how to fix this. But it's very, very difficult to see. You gotta kind of get it in the right light. But there's one kind of like right here, right there. And after I inspected a couple of the moldings, it appears that it's only on a few of these. The quick fix is going to be the gray scuff pad, but instead of doing it wet, I'm gonna do it dry. I'll wipe it with a microfiber towel and then shoot that area with the trim black, and it'll be as good as new. Okay, everybody, we're getting ready to put the door moldings on. And kind of in preparation for the door moldings, I'm going to polish these tight areas with my 3-inch polisher. That way we don't have to come back and kind of micromanage this stuff. But I'll flip the camera around, we'll show you what we're doing. So basically, you'll see where the molding's gonna install, right here. I'm polishing everything up about 3 inches, above and below the molding. Are we chasing perfection? Absolutely not, we'll be here forever. All we're doing, we're just going for gloss. Will we remove some swirls and scratches? Absolutely, just to the nature of mechanical abrasion, but we're not gonna sit here and do 2-step, multi-step. We're not hassling with any of that. I'm gonna make a quick pass, clean up the area, get a ton of gloss, or get as much gloss as I can, and then we're gonna keep rolling down to each spot. After that's complete, we'll wipe it with a prep spray and get ready to put our moldings on.
We're masking again for what?
This would be for paint. So we masked the first time to scuff, and it's always, you get practice to switch out your masking material. That way, you know, once you start spraying, you don't push any dirt or debris out of the tape.
And why are we painting this again? You wanted
This
this.
will match our moldings. It's a little more uniform. Plus, with our bumper off at paint, that'll have a fresh spray on its molding area as well. So if we were to kind of just leave the back bumper, it would have been
Tacky.
half butted. All right, so we've got our masking tape down. We've already got drop cloth on the bottom half. We'll drape the hatch area here down by the tail lights in the rearward panel, and then I'll probably carry it all the way over to the quarter panel. May go up a little bit here towards the glass, but we're gonna be shooting low. But we'll have a fan pulling our overspray out, so we won't have to worry about overspray too much, but we just wanna get most of the surrounding areas masked off. All right, so we got the car back in the studio. The back molding section on the rear bumper is painted. Can't wait to get this masking off and see how we did. Didn't do any primer, filler primer or anything like that, or high build primer to fill some of these scars. We left that alone. Some of this stuff adds character to the car. Was another humid day here in Texas. It's springtime, late April, so we got humid days no matter what. I had to do 4 coats over this, and then to kind of level out some of the dryness or the blushiness from what happens on a humid spray, hit it with the sand-free adhesion promoter over the top. That kind of melts that top layer of paint, and it really kind of makes it all blend in harmony. It looks really good. So enough of me yapping. We're gonna get in here and get this masking off. These moldings aren't difficult. You just wanna set them out in the sunlight for a little bit. If you're doing this in the winter, it's gonna pose a challenge no matter what. So if you have to set them in front of like a space heater or something, do so. Just make sure it's at a decent enough distance where you're not gonna damage the molding. Get them as warm as you can. The time of year is always gonna dictate that. For us, here again, late April in Texas, we have the ability to go set ours outside. So what you'll see me do, I'm gonna wipe this area with some isopropyl alcohol. We've already got all of our adhesive off from when we did the eraser wheel and then the initial adhesive remover wipe. If you're still in that state, you'll definitely wanna make sure any little bit of last residue is removed with adhesive remover. After that, then you could come back over this area with your isopropyl alcohol. I'm also gonna be using the 3M adhesion promoter that's in the little packet. You'll rub it on the contact area for the double-sided tape. It can be tricky to prevent getting out of bounds or coloring out of the lines. If you want to take some painter's tape and go just above and just below where the molding is gonna sit here at the lower section, that way you can wipe your adhesion promoter and then roll your painter's tape off. Because I've seen where people will get crazy with it because you can't really control those wipes very well, and they'll color out of the lines and you'll see marks and stuff up here on the paint. You don't want that because when that stuff dries, you got to kind of take a pretty harsh solvent to get it off, and in some cases you may have to like polish it off. So here are all the fresh moldings that we got to figure out goes where. What I probably should have done to expedite this, when I removed all these other moldings, probably could have wrote on the back or wrote on the front because we're not going to reuse them of which one's which, and I could have matched them up a little bit quicker, but they're pretty self-explanatory of how these go. You just got to hold them up and be like, yep, that's the one. So there's our front of fender driver's side molding. Juicy.
But still, what do you got? You put an adhesion promoter on it?
I think you want to put an adhesion promoter on those because they'll roll up. Every time. I love it. That's all part of the fun. You smell great, honey.
Moment of truth right here.
That look all right from back there? Well, you're supposed to apply pressure like 30 seconds or something for this.
All that working out, and you mean to tell me you can't hold that for 30 seconds? All the muscles.
This is different.
Oh yeah?
Engage your core.
Engage your core.
We can fake 30 seconds on video. That's money. Oh, dude, look at that, man. I love when this stuff starts to come together. This is the best part right here, dude. Look at that. That is sweet. Yeah, the door molding, the long one, is yes, is a 2-man operation.
You're the video boy.
Oh no.
What happened? What'd you do?
It got scuffed somehow. Well, how did that happen?
Now's not the time.
I can mask it and just kind of. All right, so the way these are tooled, they are going to appear a little short, and they kind of are when you compare them to the factory ones. But it's kind of a dance. You want about, what are we, about a 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch off the edge of the door?
I'm
1/8 of an
gonna
inch.
go with a fingertip. Top of my finger. That's how far away we are from the door.
Damn. That's like 3/16. 3/16 away from the edge of the door. If you go rearward towards the edge of the door,
Okay,
your gap is going to significantly grow here. If you want to try to find the balance, you're going to have to bring it forward a little bit, which is going to enlarge your gap there at the back of the door. Mock it up, look at it, see which spot is going to work best for you. We're going to kind of just draw it down the middle. But you want a gap up front anyways, because when you open the door and this front section rotates inward, you don't want this molding making contact with the fender or the molding that gets installed here. We're going to pull this back off, put some adhesion promoter down, and we'll get her stuck. Oh, man, we got marks all over this thing. We probably need to put gloves on.
Where's your glove?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Where's the glove?
No,
Right,
it.
we should have been wearing gloves.
Oh, we're here. I've already.
You got meat juices just dripping off of us. Where's the gloves? Here, look, I got some green ones right here. Landon's favorite color. They match his color.
I have.
I know you have blue eyes. Come on, I'm the one that looks at you all the time, all day, every day. I put gloves on just for you.
Yep.
Well, you didn't tell me I could go that fast. I'm over here being a delicate flower like an idiot. That's good?
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah, I just want to push it.
Okay.
What I usually do, I just kind of come in here with my palm of my hand. That way I'm covering good surface area. And I just rock my way all the way across. This is definitely the hardest one though, obviously. The rest are walking the park. Try that on for size. Oh, that looks good, dude. Nice work. That's right on the money. I kind of like this with no pinstripe.
I do too, but
I like the minimalistic aspect of it.
you gotta make it accurate.
Yeah, the old snake deserves.
Especially if we're gonna put giant snake on there.
What's a snake tamer? What's their...
Your hand?
Like what comes to mind for me, it would be like a reptile engineer. I don't know.
Reptile
A snake engineer.
Snake engineer. He's not making the snake.
Old car stuff. Okay, so working on pinstripes now. I went ahead and did a trial run here at the rear of the fender. I think it turned out pretty good. I haven't done pinstriping in forever. This reminds me of my RC car days when I was masking RC car bodies with fine line masking tape. So that's kind of the vibes I'm getting with this. But these moldings have some little inlays or channels, for lack of a better word, to where you can align this pinstripe. The pinstripe is 1/8 inch wide. The molding channel, I don't think it's exactly an 1/8 inch wide because I'm getting a little overhang on the pinstripe. So decal application squeegee with a felt end is what I'm using to work this in. If you want to ensure that it kind of conforms really well to that channel, you can carefully use a heat gun. Just be super careful due to the size of that pinstriping. Any additional heat can really mess this up. So you want to hold it away from the molding a little bit, and then kind of as you warm it up, as you heat it up, just kind of come in here with that felt side of your squeegee and just working into that channel on the body moldings, and you can continue that all the way around the car. Not very hard, just tedious. So here's the pinstripe. That's pretty self-explanatory. Razor blade, this is what I'm using to cut the ends off. This is a fresh razor blade. It's nice and sharp. Don't go grabbing the one you use to cut your cardboard boxes down or whatever you use it for. Make sure it's really sharp. That way you can neatly cut this pinstripe at the edge of the moldings. I'm just replicating what the factory moldings were. That's how they did it. I believe the factory moldings were actually painted on pinstripe style. That's what we're gonna do. I got some scissors out just to cut some of the backing paper off. That way it just doesn't get all long and strung out. And then I got a little stool right here that I'm using kind of as my prop That way my pinstripe just doesn't drag on the ground. And if you really want to get technical, got a little bottle of alcohol, microfiber towel. I'm using this and kind of wiping my fingertips as I go. You know, try to keep as much body oils off of this pinstripe as I can. Gloves, don't wear gloves. You won't be able to be accurate. You'll be fighting it and cussing it. And when you start it, I would give yourself about a 1/4 inch of overhang. That way you can come back and trim it flush. But this is the tedious part right here. Is bringing this pinstripe down the molding. Don't stretch it either. You don't want to pull too hard. You just want to pull it enough to where it draws tension. You just want to kind of lightly go over it with your fingers and get it down in that channel. Now, if you want to take your felt squeegee at this point and go in and kind of get a better grab or a better adhesion on the molding, you can. We can come back and fine tune this once we continue down the door.
Are you looking forward to doing the whole car wrap around? It seems fun, right?
Yeah, I think this is one of those where it's like, oh, cool, the first one was awesome, and you don't want to do the others. The short ones are fun. It's just long stuff you don't want to mess with. It's just you gotta dance with it too much. So I've stretched that one too far, and I've creased my pinstripe. So that's what you don't want to do either.
Show me the crease.
I creased it right there.
Creasy.
Because I strung this out too far.
What do you gotta do? Just rip it and stick it again?
Yep.
The whole thing?
No, you just gotta make sure it doesn't hit the ground. But basically that's gonna be a point to where you're gonna have to peel it back off and then come back, relay it in a shorter run. So that's about a 6-inch run right there. Oh no, that's about 8 to 10 inch run. And see what'll happen when you do that, you'll see some highs and lows. But I'm gonna tell you this much. Unless you just lay pinstriping every day, this isn't gonna be perfect. Set yourself up just to get the pinstripe on the car. No, you don't want it looking like
the mountains?
The mountains, yeah, there we go. I was about to say you don't want to look like a heart rate, but then again, if you're dead, it's flat.
You want to be flat. You want to be dead.
Yeah, you want to be dead. All right, well, I'll be here for the next 30 minutes or an hour. Y'all enjoy the time lapse. So I know right away what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to trim out each individual piece separately. So 1 Cobra, 2 Cobra, 1 snake, 2 little snake extension thingies. I'm gonna kind of rough cut these out to start with. That way I can dry fit this snake first. My scissors are dull. Come back and cut those better here in just a second. We'll cut away the stripe thingies. What's gonna make this easy is that goes around the hood medallion right here. So that'll take away a lot of our guesswork. So once we get it centered around that, the rest of this should go right into place where we want it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Not my first rodeo installing decals. I'm gonna get a fresh microfiber and we'll wipe this hood with some alcohol. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this entire area right here where the snake is gonna go. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and wipe the hood scoop. I'll have to lower the car back down to get this part because that's too high. All right, she's nice and squeaky clean. These are old decals like we talked about before. So I'm probably gonna have to put this on a little bit better working surface to squeegee out this transfer film. Okay, you want the decal to go with the transfer film. You want it to come off of the backing paper. So I'm just going at this willy-nilly. And it's actually working great. Wow. So if it wouldn't have gone that smooth, what I would have had to do was get that on a flatter surface and take my squeegee, just go over the entire decal to get that to adhere to your transfer film. I'm gonna spray the decal lightly, and then we'll go pretty heavy with the solution on the hood. I like to spray my hands too, my fingertips. This thing's already hissing at me. Oh man, we may need some more solution. God dang. Okay, so, yeah, I definitely need to go to the left. You see how this is bunching up over here on the hood scoop? So we'll kind of just peel this up and just kind of rotate it a little bit. All right, I ran us out of solution. What was that old thing back in the day? You remember that guy that did that little, he had that little hat on. And he was like, I'm a snake. I'm a slithery little snake.
I'm a snake.
You don't remember that? So we're pretty close right here. So now what I'm gonna do to make sure I've got it all centered, make sure we got good. So what I'm gonna do, just to help squeegee glide a little better, wet the top, in, out. Yeah, start in and go out. All right, I'm gonna do a little relief cut here. Probably should use a razor blade. That way that'll lay down nice and smooth. Need to do the same thing over there. I'm gonna get my razor blade. All right, a little corner slit here. So that'll lay down nice and smooth. And then I'm just gonna cut around the medallion. Sharp, fresh razor blade. Don't go get the razor blade you cut boxes with. Don't go too deep. So the shape of the hood is causing this to gonna cause a crease. See? What'll have to happen, you have to come in here and gently separate this piece. So razor blade in, we'll go right in between these decals. Okay. But when you do that, it's gonna shift how this lower piece lays. So you're gonna have to kind of walk it down and make sure your spacing stays accurate. And if you have to, you have to come in and cut a little bit more this away. There we go. That way we've kind of got a little bit of a more freelance approach, this bottom piece. So now what we'll do, we'll just start squeegeeing. If you feel the squeegee pushing and the decal doesn't seem like it's wanting to lay, you know, stop. Because if you push that decal over, it'll form a crease and you don't want that. Like right here, uh-oh. So I'm gonna try to raise this film up gently. A lot of this, once the water gets out of there, it'll lay down. All right, we're gonna have to try to go to surgery. Oh shit. See there? So if that happens, I'm just gonna pull it off of this. Let's push it straight right now. Oh, whew. Got a little bit of it out. Got it. A little bit of heat. Kept it far away, just enough to work that moisture out of that crease. If you're still squeegeeing, use the felt side of your squeegee. If you don't use the felt side, you'll get some damage to the decal. Scratch it. And then any of those larger bubbles, they'll work themselves out. Get it out in the sun. So next, I'll cut this, whatever this we got, the extensions. What are we calling these? What are we calling these? You don't know? I don't know either. Oh, that's about goofy. You gotta cut these? I did see one of these cars on Bring a Trailer. So I'm gonna pull up Bring a Trailer and I'm gonna reference another 79 Cobra. I'm just gonna go. The more I think about it, we'll be here all day. So same process as the big snake. Plenty of solution. But the main focus here is you just wanna get it even. You wanna go straight front to back, and you want your greens and your blacks even with your snake. Man, why don't I just do that from the get-go? Dude, that's about, what's that line, or what's the line in Top Gun Maverick? Don't think, just do. That's how my kid got his name. All right, so on something like this, before we make our wrap around and our cut, we want to let this moisture get out from under there. So it's one of these things where you may have to come back after like an hour or so, peel your film off, then roll your decal and trim. What do you think from out there, Chris? You got a good angle? Good angle of it? So 2 inches from the green, edge of the green to the edge of the hood scoop. Let's see where we ended up with this one. 2 inches from the edge of the green. That's, dude, a robot that's got a better eye than I do. Oh, dude, you can't even, let's go. You can't even program robots to do that good. All right, so we gave this a little bit of time to set up. I'm gonna kind of get this transfer paper back a little bit. We're letting the moisture kind of evaporate, and we're just rolling this decal down to where I can get it about even, lower ledge of the hood scoop, and I'll just score that with my sharp razor blade. Take the rest of this transfer film off. And it'll be the same song and dance back here. I'm gonna get it to where this solution will evaporate, tuck it, and then I can come back and make a nice score line across the back of the hood scoop. Okay, same thing for this side. All right, so we went ahead and left our extension sit overnight. So now we'll take our sharp razor blade and I'll just score this across the underside of the scoop. Probably be a little tricky to get started, but once you get it started, it'll go.
Beautiful. Damn.
Not a very straight cut.
Whatever, dude.
I'm gonna roll it the rest of the way under. Probably have to take our squeegees. I'd say that's perfect.
Beautiful.
So back here, it's the same song and dance. You're gonna roll it around the back of the scoop. I took a thin squeegee and kind of, not put a crease in it, but made sure it was flush against the hood scoop. So sharp razor blade, we're gonna score that line. Well, just enough pressure to cut through the decal. Money. Then we can do the same one. All right, we can do the same for the other side. Okay, so once you go to wipe this, you gotta be real careful with your points over here, edges, whatever. Corners is the word I'm looking for. So I'm just lightly going over this decal to get our application solution residue off. Make it just look a little better, peeling to the eye. And then once we get the side decals on, this can go get parked outside. Before I got going on the Cobra side decals, I browsed online through some trusty resources and websites of kind of just some generalized placement. I also noticed that we need the 5.0 emblems, which I don't know, man, it looks good with just the Cobra and out the 5.0 emblems, but we'll get them on there. So that's what I referenced. So yeah, all I'm doing here, I'm just giving myself about 1/8 of an inch around the lettering, which is the same amount of distance that I did on the driver's side decal that I've already installed. And this just basically helps with squaring it up and making it even. And the measurements on the driver's side that we did were 7/8 from the front of the door to the rear, and then we're 5/8 up from this little crease in the body. So we'll wet the surface first, like we've been doing. Roll our transfer film and decal off of the backing paper. We'll have to wet the decal and then get in here and get the little piece of vinyl that didn't come off from the plotter. I'm gonna place it up here, eyeball it, and then we'll come tape measure and kind of. So over there, we measured off of the C. Here, we're measuring off of the A. So that is what's also gonna kind of skew a little bit of this as well. Money, money. All right, this side needs to come up.
Done. Tell me it looks good.
Looks great. We did it. We'll squeegee a little bit of this water out. I'll wipe most of it up. We'll leave our transfer film on and let some of it evaporate before we peel it. All right, everybody, so we were just getting ready to close the door molding video out, but guess what? I didn't get this door molding installed all the way correctly. We're on the driver's side, obviously. It's tough to capture on camera, but I'm telling you, this thing is not on. The lower section here is nowhere near attached. Like I can push this all the way in and you can kind of see it flexing, wanting to adhere itself. So a couple things that could have caused this. One could be temperature. The ambient temperature here in the studio is 72 degrees. The only thing that tells me that that's not 100% accurate is all the other moldings went on fine, as well as our passenger side molding. The next thing would be alignment. I may have had this too far up on the door frame, and this center channel in here may have been pushing up on this upper ledge here, kind of on the recessed area on the door itself. So if it was too far up, this is pushing out. It's not going to let this double-sided tape adhere properly. So I may have to move this down once I pull it off and put fresh double-sided tape on it. The third thing would be I didn't let the adhesion promoter set up correctly. And come to think of it, I used that same adhesion promoter packet on these other moldings, and by the time I got to this door molding, put it on the door, the time pretty much, I guess you could say, elapsed of my working window for that adhesion promoter. Those are 3 things you need to keep in mind. If you can set these out in the sun prior to installation, go for that. Granted, I get it, you're only going to be able to do that in certain seasons. If you can't do that, you may have to set these in front of a decent sized space heater to get some heat in them before you go to install. And then just keep in mind those other 2 things. Make sure you have this molding aligned correctly on the door, and make sure you apply a fresh application of adhesion promoter. So watch how easy this comes off. 2 fingers. Top kind of got stuck, but we'll just gently roll this off. So now what we got to do, we got to get all this off of the door itself, and I got to go in here and strip all this double-sided tape off and put fresh down. Just wanted to be fully transparent with you. Just because we do this every day, all the time, that doesn't mean we're perfect either, and we wanted to basically have some talking points and some bullet points to pass along to you on some things to consider, and really just a heads up. You know, just make sure you're doing this the right way. Back to work. All right, so here we are, fellas. We got a mess. I've already blew myself off with some compressed air, but this was all over me. I'm probably gonna have to throw this shirt in the trash. But anyways, here's where we're at. This took us about 30 to 45 minutes. Nick helped me hold the molding while I ran the tool. It was our drill with our good old eraser wheel. And the reason why it kind of took so long is we had to let this cool off a little bit. We had it smoking at one point. So we didn't want to ruin our drill, so we kind of took a few breaks here and there. It looks really, really bad because it's still covered in all this shrapnel. But once we get this wiped down and clean, I'm probably gonna go on the back side here where all these scuff marks are from the eraser wheel and try to even some of this out with some sandpaper. I don't know what grit I'm gonna use just yet. Probably something coarse, 80, 120, something along the lines of that. And then on the flip side, no pun intended, I'm gonna have to pull our pinstriping off. I'm gonna have to scuff this again lightly with a gray scuff pad, make sure it's clean, and I'm gonna shoot another quick top coat of our trim black. That way we have a fresh layer down, because with us holding it on the table, there's just no way to save the top side of the molding from getting all messed up. All in all, we'll be out about 2 hours worth of time, I'd say. I think it's good this happened, honestly. That way y'all can see what you have to go through if this doesn't work out for you. It's not the end of the world. You know, this is putting on parts 101. Just because you put these on hundreds of times, that doesn't mean you're gonna get it right on the 101st. First things first will be some isopropyl alcohol to get this surface really good and prepped. I've already cleaned it a little bit off camera, but you'll just want to go over this as many times as you like, just to make sure it's clean. And you just want to let that alcohol flash. It flashes pretty quick. And we can go in here and get our tape ready. I've got 7/8 and 1/2 inch. That's all the store had. Just kind of had to run up to our local auto parts store to get some of this tape. But in its configuration, you're gonna have 7/8 on top, and then on the bottom is 1 1/4 inch. And then we lucked out and got 7/8 and 1/2 inch that we can put on the bottom, which will give us 1.25 inches. This adhesion promoter packet, you have to apply right away, or you have up to an hour, I believe, which I don't think I necessarily clearly stated. Oh, wow. But we have the information on our website as to how this is supposed to work. So we don't have to be too accurate on this since it's the backside, but I'm gonna cover as much surface area as I can because we want good adhesion. So I'm gonna overlap this just a touch. I can always come back and trim it off a little bit, but you can do however you want. And I'm also about 1 millimeter underneath the edge, the top edge of the molding. That's about how these were out of the box.
Out of the box or box?
Box. And we'll come back and apply some good pressure to this because this stuff is already starting to get real sticky.
How long are we gonna let that sit, dude?
What, this here?
Before we paint and stick it on the car. Or I guess you don't have to
Once this is set, we can just go straight
to paint.
Straight to paint. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this side short. Okay. So now I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I have a roller that I use for sound deadener. So we don't want to get too carried away and deform it or push it away. See, like I did right there. We just want to get this nice and look at that.
You gonna use that one or?
Nope.
Oh, I got you.
Fresh one.
Yep.
Not taking any chances this go round. All right, so same song, different verse. About 1 millimeter underneath the little edge. Oh yeah, this is sticky.
Is that actually pretty beneficial, that little roller?
Yeah, it's doing good. But if you don't have this, you just go over with the palm of your hand or your fingers or whatever. All right, I'm gonna cut these where they need to be cut at the end. So now we're ready to shoot a quick touch-up top coat on it. Let that dry, and then I'll probably pinstripe it off the car. That way I can do it kind of eye level or from the top, and then I can get it on the car. Round two, I'm using a fresh adhesion promoter packet on the door. Last time I had to use one that was kind of already spent. I think I've already told you all that. But I want to get as much of this solution down on the surface that I can. We're dog-eared. Chris is gonna help me set the molding of the car. Probably talked about this already as well. Assistance from a friend. It's only gonna help you. All right, Chris. Man the front. You see this little spot here? You kind of want to get it somewhat in the inlay of that door. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this. All right, so if you just want to keep holding, Chris, I'm gonna come across the top first. Oh yeah. Considerably. Noticeable difference.
Yes, got both.
Hey, Chris, get over here and push on this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I'm trying to. No, get low.
Get low, dude.
There you go, dude.
And just push that molding. My hands are dirty. I'll grab that pinch wheel, hang on. Yeah, use your palms to kind of push in there. Yeah, don't drag your palms. Oh yeah, dude, that's going nowhere. We nailed it. All right, everybody, moving along on the old white snake here. Time to turn our attention to the front bumper. Already got some of the front end stuff sprayed with trim black paint, headlight buckets, turn signal brackets, as well as the headlight bezels. Like I mentioned earlier, these are supposed to be the bright, polished, chrome looking stuff. Gonna be tough to replicate that, so I just shot it in trim black. The buckets and the turn signals, I could have done the black e-coat, but I already had a can of trim black, so that's what I went with, and it turned out great. Over here on the header panel, I cleaned it up with some all-purpose cleaner and a pressure washer, and actually knocked some of this flaking paint off. Could we have spent a little bit more time here and really dialed this in and maybe shot a coat of paint on it? Sure, but a lot of this is gonna be tucked in behind the bumper and not gonna necessarily micromanage it. Already have the driver's side buckets loaded up into the header panel, new screws, adjustment brackets and adjustment springs, as well as the little plastic insulators. All of these parts, pretty straightforward in how they work, but I get it. A lot of us that may be fixing the 79 to 86 four-eyed cars, this is stuff that we don't do every day. So I'm gonna walk y'all through the process over here on the passenger side of how you situate your headlight bucket installation hardware. Jumping over here, we do have one more insulator still installed. The others had fallen out just from disassembly, age. The pressure washer knocked a few of them out. Should be able to just come in here and they'll just fall apart. But if you want to get this out in a methodical manner, you'll reach up underneath the underside of it and depress the tab to get it out nice and clean. And I can show you with a brand new one, but you can see the little tab right there, and that's what clips into the header panel. So you would just depress that and remove it. But these only install one way, and there'll be 3 per headlight. So 3, 6, 9, 12 total across the entire assembly. Okay, so up next will be the adjustment brackets, blocks, whatever you want to call them, as well as the adjustment screws. This is what they look like. The screws will come pre-installed into the brackets themselves, and these will install from the back side of the header panel and come up towards you. And there's going to be 2 per headlight, so 2, 4, 6, 8 across the entire assembly. Now I'm going to put these first 2 in and then see if the clips engage. You can kind of hear an audible tone when they engage. If they don't, you can flip the header panel over and manipulate it with a small flathead screwdriver. And the reason for that is just the tolerances with aftermarket parts versus OEM parts. But we'll take a little flathead screwdriver here, and then you'll see the clip down inside that bracket, and you'll just kind of give it a push until they work themselves out to engage into that upper section there of the header panel. Don't push too hard because you'll break the clip off. So we'll flip this back over, make sure they're properly engaged, which they are, and then we can install the other 2 here in the outboard location. Remember, you're dealing with old header panel, so be careful. There we go. So the next steps will be to back those adjustment screws all the way out. You can do this with a tool, or you can do this with a screwdriver. Next, we will make note of our headlight buckets. You'll have a slot here for the adjustment screw. You'll have a slot here for the adjustment screw. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna line those up with your adjustment brackets. That one's gonna go here to the outboard side. This one here is gonna go toward the inboard side. The adjustment screws sometimes like to engage in the upper slot. They don't like the side slot. If that's the case, the little groove you see can be enlarged. You can hit that with a small file or a suitable tool to enlarge that opening. I had to do it on a few, but for us, the factory screws were still in good shape. I did use a few over there on the driver's side, and looks like I'll have to use a few here on the passenger side as well. So this one here is the outboard side. We'll set it in place. We'll get our screws aligned with our adjustment brackets. We'll thread them in by hand first, just a couple turns, and then we'll get them started with our screwdriver. These screw heads are visible, so if you wanted to hit these with some trim black paint, go ahead and do so. All right, so a couple turns just to get some decent thread engagement, and this is gonna set us up to install the adjustment springs. Your adjustment springs will be 1 per headlight bucket. So 1, 2, 3, 4 across the entire assembly. Here's the springs. The tighter loop will secure to the header panel. The more open loop will secure to the provision on the headlight bucket. And it's gonna be down here in the corners. You'll see the little pocket on the headlight bucket as to where these will go. So the end with the more open loop will get situated on the bucket itself, and then you will feed that spring down through the opening in the header panel. It'll come out right here, and you'll see it. Once you get the spring coming in the correct direction, you'll push down on the corner of the headlight bucket, take you a hook tool, you'll pull it down and around the header panel. And that completes a headlight bucket. You'll go ahead and repeat this for the other 3. And what I like to do as well, I like to go ahead and run these adjustment screws down just a touch. And then we'll dial this in whenever we get the bumper and everything back on the car. We can adjust the headlights. Next steps will be to load this header panel into our freshly painted bumper. And this bumper turned out phenomenal. Good buddy, Navin Mohammed, works at Auto Collision Center here in Waco, Texas. Known Navin 15 years at the time of this video. Met him back when I had my 99 GT. Kept the old friendship going, I guess, over all these years. But he did a stand-up job on this bumper. He went above and beyond our expectations. This bumper turned out absolutely phenomenal. And it's gonna make this car look so good and really bring all the other work together. Alrighty, so we're gonna get this header panel situated. I think once you can get one side somewhat situated, you have a better chance of getting all this to jive.
There you go.
All right. There it is. We've got the 4-eyed front bumper installation kit from the website, lmr.com. We're gonna go ahead and put all these rivets in their proper spot. I got the other side, so now we'll kind of run across the top here. It's like Duke. With it off of the car, I can't get any downward pressure.
You want to wait till we get it on the car?
That's what I may do.
Side markers?
Yeah, I gotta load the side markers in. Okay, okay. What in the...
What happened? You supposed to put that in first?
Yeah. The early cars did not utilize the sub bracket for the side marker. They just installed straight up to the header panel. There's a little tab where they get situated here on the header panel. Still utilize the screw that probably the later model 4-eyed cars, but we're not using this bracket. I'm gonna assume that this was probably 83 to 86. Could you use this on the earlier car like this 79? Sure, but these 2 spots probably where they get situated on the header panel, you would have to drill those out and put you some fasteners on this little ledge here on the header panel to properly secure this. And since this wasn't tooled and designed for that, you're probably gonna have to get this exactly right so that the front bumper fits around this correctly. So we're not using this. We're just installing, which reminds me, I gotta pull this driver's side out so we can put it in there. Where is it? Is this it? So it's pretty simple in how this operates. You line this puppy up.
No, it's too hard.
And just go click. All right, so now we'll get this bad boy situated. This just needs to make contact. I would not crank down on that at all. Well, let's say we make another stab at loading this header panel in this bumper.
So everything we just did, do it again?
Yeah. With the centers. Oh, this is money. Oh, just make sure you get it up on your crash bar enough so you can put. All right, we'll hit the side one. So here we could really take the bumper off the car if we wanted to do these side ones, because now we've got all these attached and secured. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and, before I get the bumper on, we got it all situated, finally. I'm gonna put the turn signal brackets back on. We will have to use the nut, 2 of the nuts to act as a jam nut so we can install these studs. I'll show you how to do that real quick. It's nice and easy. So we'll take our new light, stud, coarse thread is gonna go into the housing. So you'll kind of get these started by hand. And then what we wanna do, take a nut upside down. We wanna thread it on enough to where we can get another nut started. And then what we can do, we can use this as our jam nut assembly.
Yep, there you go, buddy.
And you just want to go till it stops. Not a lot of torque on these. These don't have to be super tight. Remember, you're just holding a turn signal to the bracket. Nope. Now I got to get this off. Looks like a hi-hat.
Oh, what a dude.
You're light. Are you kidding me? Do I really got to put this on the bracket first? Something's not right.
Is it still stupid?
This bumper is pushed in right here. So it's causing the light not to sit flush. But I guarantee if I were to come over to this side, it probably sits right on the money.
That one sits on?
This is perfect. Still in the way. Between the bracket and the crash bar, this should give us the correct amount of spacing. Yep, that's the clearance we needed. Good.
All right.
All right, let me just tighten these. Gotta tighten these up. Get off of here. And then we want to connect our side markers. Okay, we didn't have any brackets attached, or they go on the back side of the fender. This connection will go in here. All right, we'll slide this back into place. All right, well, it's just resting in place. But there you go. Look at that, man. That looks good. All right, I think we're at a good spot right there. We just got to come in here, get our L brackets reattached for the header panel to the core support. We've got the bolt here that's securing this little bracket to the hood latch bracket, as well as the header panel. And then we'll get up underneath and get all of our front bumper to fender brackets resituated.
Is this the last molding?
Dog ear these bad boys.
This is it. The moment of truth. Push. Hard. Dude, it's done. All right, let's pinstripe this thing.
I'm just pulling it off because it's missing some retainers.
Sweet. What you mixing?
A little bit of epoxy, fix our studs and our hood scoop. No, I think we just exposed a previous problem. Yeah, these holes are stripped out. All right, we'll let that set up.
How many do we gotta do?
Just 2.
Just those 2?
Yep. Do I need to cut off all of them?
I think you just, if you're gonna do it, I guess, yeah, cut all of them.
Right.
Are you cutting it?
If you want your parts to fit,
We just cut the clips off because
there must have been a change or something in the hood scoop over the short run of years in the early Foxes, and these little alignment peg dowels, they don't align with these slots. and the hood scoops. We're just gonna hit the easy button on this deal. I snipped them all off.
Like even this one didn't even fit, right?
No, the OEM one didn't even fit. You look. Somebody had already knocked off the other two pegs.
Yeah,
just so it could sit here. But if you notice, the way it was retained was just a little push on.
A little pell nut or something?
Yeah, a little pow nut, whatever you want to call it.
Pow.
But I'm just going to quickly file these down, nothing crazy. All right, next,
Good.
a little bit of alcohol. Get our surface prepped. I'm not going to do any adhesion promoter. If you wanted to get fancy, do some adhesion promoter, go for it. We're just going to cut us some strips and install. Give some pressure. Supposed to do this for 30 seconds. Okay, so now we will align our dilly-mabob the best we know how. That's about as good as we're gonna get there, boys.
Press.
So now we can
Heel.
yeah. Adhere.
There it is. In all its glory. Oh, dude, it came up easy.
But this one's from 79.
Yeah, but look at it. It's hideous now. It's not even red anymore. It's monochrome. Oh, yeah. Looks like Neapolitan ice cream.
Murphy fishing.
The hood off. One more Ugga Dugga. Two Ugga Dugga. Three
Man,
Ugga.
replace those damn
The moldings?
moldings.
It's like a, what do you call that? A Lay's potato chip?
Tube.
Oh, you got it? Oh my, that is crusty. Yes. Yeah, you just gotta put the front teeth in first. Oh, dude.
We did it. We did
Look at
it.
that
Did
shit.
it.
Oh, don't talk no more to us. Speak to me, spirit. Speak, apparition.
We did it. All right, everybody, we reached the finish line with old White Snake, the 1979 Cobra. We got out here on a beautiful June day here in the state of Texas, and it looks the part. It's crazy what just a little bit of sweat equity will do, and then a little bit of money fix up one of these cars. I'm kind of calling this a mini Resto. We kind of do that a lot around here, just some quick pick-me-ups to these cars, because no matter what, I think we all can agree that there is an infinite amount of levels to a vehicle restoration. For us, with this car, we nailed it. I mean, the leftover blemishes on the paint, some of the rust spots, it all adds to the character and the soul of this 79 Cobra. As y'all saw all throughout the video, we primarily focused on the aesthetics of the exterior. The interior, we did what we could. I just gave it a generalized cleaning, a good once-over, and where I focused a majority of my time was really blowing out those carpets and getting a nice vacuum. Turned out good. Some of the panels are completely gone. They're chalky. There's just really no saving them. And we just kind of got to live with it, you know, as long as we have the car. But again, going back to that character and that soul, that kind of ties all of that stuff together. We washed it thoroughly, got as much of the dirt, debris, and crud out of all the jams and behind some of the trim and moldings. Then we just did a quick correction on the paint. There were a few spots that I did hit the paint multiple times just to see if I could clean it up. But the amount of resprays this car has seen and some of the finish out work from those resprays, some of the deeper scratches and swirls and things just kind of stayed behind. But regardless, we did get a lot of gloss out of this paint. I left all the trims alone. Looked like these were probably resprayed or refurbished at some point in the car's life. Same with the wiper arms. I kept those in the shape that they were already in. I painted a cowl vent grill, and we did go ahead and put the lower windshield moldings on, because especially that one over there on the passenger side, it was totally wavy and really needed to be replaced. They're cheap enough. We went ahead and replaced them. And then obviously new wiper blades for what it's worth. Sticking over here to the front, I mean, this is the crown jewel, the centerpiece of the whole car is this big old, I'm calling it the Egyptian snake. That's just what rolls off the tongue. Boy, you talk about living in the 70s, here we are. Big old green and black snake up on the hood. And this was a little tricky. I got it just about perfect, and any little bit of crud and trash you see underneath the decal, that's just from defects in the hood from a possible respray. Over here on the front bumper, Novin did an absolutely amazing job. Auto Collision Center, I've known Novin a long time. He's done some work for several employees over all the years, and he just does flat out good work. He'll do it all, you just let him know, but he knocked this bumper out of the park. It is so right for this car, and I mean, other than the decal, the fresh paint, this totally transformed the car. And along with that front bumper, I resprayed the headlight bezels. We did go with new headlight trim rings and brand new headlights, new turn signals, new side markers to tie all of it together. The lower air deflector I resprayed in the Sim trim black. Kind of continuing down the side of the car here, all brand new moldings, correct for a 79 to 84 car. And then we sourced correct green pinstripe for this car. It's available on the site. And I hand laid all of that pinstripe. Kind of not necessarily agonizing, but definitely have to have a steady hand, you know, make sure it's nice and straight down the entire side of the car. Underneath that molding, this is gloss black. It's technically not correct for this car. It's supposed to be kind of the flatter or the satin black like the body moldings are. Me personally, I kind of like the glossy black. It breaks it up just enough to kind of give it that almost two-tone effect, kind of like on the some of the Aero nose cars where they had primary color over the titanium gray bottoms. Tail lights, we kept those in place just because those aren't available. If we did have a busted one, we would have had to source one from a donor car. And then the back bumper, luckily for us, it was already in good shape. So all we had to do was mask off the upper section and the lower section, give it a good scuff, wipe it, and then shoot it in trim black. And then again, lay that fresh green pinstripe there in the molding section of the bumper. All the glass was thoroughly cleaned. We could have went at it a little bit harder, but hey, just a little bit of the time we spent definitely met our expectations. All I did with the glass was dedicated glass cleaner, a non-abrasive scuff pad. Cleaned those really well. Y'all have heard me talk about this in other videos, but when the trim's right, the glass is bright, the paint is glossy, you got a little bit of tire shine on the tires, boy, you have yourself a sweet ride. So turning our attention here to the wheel and tire. This is the 16-inch 50 Resto TRX style wheel with the Firehawk tire in the correct size that we like for the 16-inch wheel. And that alone drastically changed this car because it's still correct styling for what the car would have had with the metric TRX wheel. Man, just something about that little bit larger diameter totally helps these cars. Not just the 79 Cobra, any of those cars of that era that had that TRX wheel. Didn't do much under the hood. We left all of it alone. Not gonna really pop it. I just kind of did some generalized wipe down and cleaning. You never know what we'll be up to in the future as far as some of the under hood goes. So we left all of that alone. I will kind of tell you one of my mishaps though. On the driver's side door molding, I thought I had it right. Well, I didn't have it right. The lower section would not stick at all. And after further investigation, I noticed that I didn't have it correctly aligned with this little center inlay or channel in the door. I had it too far up or down, I can't remember. Anyways, whatever the direction was to basically prevent this lower section of tape from sticking, we had to pull the molding back off and then use our eraser wheel to knock all of the double-sided tape off of this thing, clean it, and then reapply it. Make sure when you're doing these moldings, measure 3 times and stick once. Whereas my dealings, I was like, oh, I've done this before, I'll just stick it on. Well, there you go. I was redoing it again. That's pretty much it. I liked it. I liked this one. I enjoyed it a lot, mainly just because, you know, the car, we knew it wasn't gonna be perfect. And to me, sometimes those are the best cars to do because you don't have to sit here and chase all these boxes of perfection. Well, even though it looked cool in its minimalistic form with no emblems, it needed them, so we went ahead and put the 50 emblems on the fenders and then the Ford and Mustang emblems on the back hatch. Ride and drive video coming soon. Stay tuned. We'll hop in this thing, we'll take it around the block. Got to make sure the air conditioning's working first because it's already summertime here in Texas at the time of this video, and if we're gonna be going on a ride and drive, we got to have some AC. That's it, folks. I've already done a burnout in it. Rubber all down the passenger side, but oh well. That was my celebratory one tire fire, I guess you could say. But I hope y'all enjoyed this one. We always enjoy putting this stuff together for all of you to watch. Sit back, relax, and enjoy kind of the transformations on these cars. And hopefully you learned something from these videos, you know, of us taking this stuff apart, putting it back together, because I think that's the value here with anything that we do. You know, whatever we're showing y'all on video, taking something apart, putting something back together, talking about something. We're always trying to provide as much value as we can. That's it. White Snake signing off. I hope y'all enjoyed it again. If you find value in what we're doing, please consider like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And then until we see you in the next mini resto, keep it right here with the real enthusiasts, LMR.com.